Oh yeah, it's like you say, nothing's perfect. Sometimes the operator doesn't get what you're saying, or sometimes maybe the picture's not painted good. If you know the neighborhood. There's a couple things you could say, that would be truth without exaggerating. Would be that there's burglaries in this area, and I believe that these people here are committing a burglary. Sometimes you have people that are just way too nice to the operators. They're hanging out. Okay, what else are they doing? No, they're just hanging out, but it seems weird to me.
They're looking at houses. They're casing the neighborhood.
Yeah,
things like that'll get us out there.
I mean, you just got to paint the picture for the operator. They're in charge of like triage. They're trying to see if it's something the police need to get out there for or not. Yes, okay.
Sometimes, as an individual, they have to really push it over there. It took me 3 calls just years ago to get an officer out to rescue an elderly man that was trapped between Sherman Way and the storm drain there. He was trying to call over the fence. He didn't know what he was doing. But it took me 3 calls, and I finally had to get a little nasty with him. But he finally came out and he apologized afterwards. But sometimes you've got to push.
Or, the officers in the field don't even know that, that you guys are calling. They're sitting there driving around trying to stay busy, and,
sometimes you have to push a little harder.
Okay, what's the appropriate way I can then alert our neighbors, in our group? Because I know exactly what house you're talking about.
Oh, I can talk to you afterwards about it.
Can we?
Yeah, for sure.
That would be great.
I was planning. I was glad you showed up.
Thank you.
And then so I mean, it's hard. We're trying to not coach you guys, but we're trying to, make you guys aware of the 911 system. If you think somebody's committing a crime, just say it. Call 911. These people are committing a crime, or I believe they're going to, or I was at a neighborhood watch meeting and the officer said there's a lot of break-ins during the day, and these guys look like they're going to break into a house, or because that's what you think is going on, because that's why you call. Sometimes, hopefully that's enough to get it going. Sometimes it won't be. You might do everything right, and the operator will still not directed. But we ask that you still call it because everything's recorded. So if you guys called and said there's a white truck out here, the plate is, film, HR something, it may be nothing, but I just want to see if an officer can come. If they don't think it's worth sending an officer, there's still a record. When we get a burglary, they pull the call logs, and then they got these calls that you guys made. So everything's recorded. Yes, sir.
We're kind of in a funky area of West Hills. We're north of Roscoe,
Okay.
right next to Wood Lake, like a house away. Where it ends up at the reservoir.
Yeah.
And we know the cars that are supposed to be there and aren't supposed to be there. Most of the ones that go down to the bottom of the hill, or if there's a little bit of a hill from Chase, they're not supposed to be there. Usually kids are smoking pot. Girl and guy, we find rubbers down there all the time. They're drinking beer, they're underage, they're from Chaminade because that's the closest place for them to come up. But if we call, typically they want to know their license plate number. If I go down there and I live right nearby,
They're going to ask you for it. If you don't have it, you don't have it.
Right. Well, what are they committing a crime? What are they doing? Well, they got their trunk lid open, and I don't know what they're doing down there, but they're not supposed to be there. So how do we describe it in the either 911 or the non-emergency number without getting all flustered?
Well, here's the problem: that's like a party location. We know that location. That's more of an extra patrol request. I would say that is a major inconvenience for you, and because we're territorial like you guys. That's your neighborhood. That's ours. You can't say that they're going to break into houses when it's like a dead-end neighborhood and you're sitting there for a half hour. You just got to tell them exactly what it is. Kids partying and probably used to some drugs. And then you got to wait.
And these street races are all
All the time. It's
wide and there's no lights.
They do their donuts,
Yeah, it's place the call, then follow up with us, and then we can keep asking the night watch guys to go out there and direct their efforts over there.
If I were to live there and you think that the license plate is enough, just give them one.
Okay.
make one up, because officers will end up, if that's gonna send officers up there, they'll end up getting there and they'll put two and two together and we'll see people. Yeah.
Someone got into the trunk of my car, so they might go out. I checked the door in front of the house. I guess they did, sleep on it. True, of course. But they didn't leave any marks, the line didn't go off. I don't know what the trunk was.
Did you have a release in the main part of the car? Was your
Yes.
car unlocked?
But the car was not unlocked. I got into the car the next day, and I
Just come
didn't
from
realize
shopping?
until later that things were missing from the trunk.
Did you just come from shopping?
Pardon me?
Did you just come from shopping?
No.
They use a plunger a lot of times.
Yeah.
You see a lot of it.
Well, a lot of times they can probably open the window without damaging it now. They don't have to necessarily break it. And maybe they relocked it. Or maybe, I don't know, the kind of system you got. If I come out, I automatically unlock my car. I don't know if it was unlocked or locked before I got into it. I'm not aware of anything they use to bypass your trunk lock. Like if that's your thing.
I
it's a
don't know,
remote.
I always lock my car, always.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find any damage on the trunk, but I know what was missing from the car.
We arrested a guy on Ventura and Fallbrook on the 28th. He was breaking into cars, and he didn't break any of the windows. It looked like the cars were fine. He had a backpack full of stolen GPSs. He had basically it looks like a ice pick, and there was a little claw, and he was able to pry the window open just enough to get it off the scene. And then he would unlock it, and then put the car back the way he found it, and then just take what he needed. So,
Dennis, if the car doesn't have buttons, like most of the new cars don't have buttons anymore, can you still get in with a Slim Jim? Or that's only for buttons?
I've never arrested anybody with a Slim Jim. Never.
It's too obvious.
You can force those windows down.
Yeah.
It's mechanical, so you can just force it down. If you can break that seam, you can force it down.
Or they'll just use
Or hangers.
porcelain chips to break the window.
And, yeah, in extreme situations.
Porcelain chips?
They, I send you sometimes some pictures of the car that I consider being, some perhaps illegal activity or whatever. Did you rather not receive those?
No, they're great. We keep them. If there's nothing on them, we can't do anything with them. But we keep them. I keep them all in case something pops up.
Usually the license is very clear.
Yeah, no, you get it. They're very clear. Yeah.
But,
A lot of times they seem to be people that may be doing work up there. But I keep them all, and if anything pops up, I got them.
Yeah, I got to a point where I know when they are working, when they are not. And sometimes I'm moving to Ingomar. But you guys patrol Ingomar sometimes. So
Yeah.
I caught you a couple of times going by and cars moving out of the way right away. So
No, I appreciate you keeping coming because if anything pops up, I have that.
I keep doing it then.
Thank you.
I think we're probably hazy on the calling 911,
If it's not a crime, it's not a crime. If it's a party location or kids hanging out because you got a great view, give us a call. We'll just ask for extra patrol. It's just the way we have it set up. But if you think somebody's breaking into a house or going to commit a crime, just say it. I need police out here right away. There's a crime going to happen. I don't, what's the plate? I don't have the plate. It's not safe for me to look. Okay, fine. They're not going to force it. If you got it, they want it because that's our easiest way of finding it. You give us that plate, and then you say to the operator they're leaving, we might be able to figure out where they're going now because we know their registered address. That's the idea.
You were asking about Slim Jims. These houses, like I've been talking about, we've actually had the sheriffs doing some of the lockouts. We found guys with piles of Slim Jims. So there's still, it's old fashioned, but there's still people using them. So
Yeah. The spark plug is, you can take a spark plug, you break the porcelain off of it, and then you throw that at a window, it'll break the whole window. And it's very wide. That's easier to carry in your pocket than a cylinder.
or they have a thing called a punch tool. And it's spring loaded. You just push up against the glass and it'll shatter the glass. And you just kind of punch it out real quietly and you're in there.
With the car break-ins, most of the time they're not like fishing. They're not going to break a whole bunch of windows and hope to get something. They can see something in your car worth taking. So, that's why they say lock it, hide it, keep it. Don't leave anything in your car you don't want to lose.
That's in your driveway too.
Yeah.
Don't leave any valuables in your car.